I'm walking on. There. Boy. I'll just allow him to regain his composure before we set off again. Breathe. Breathe. Right, good boy. And canter. Yes, good boy. And trot. There, good boy. And walking on. And canter. Good boy. Very nice. And trot. Oh, there. Very good. Generally, when horses come out into the open to canter, they now walk. They do it for far too long, and they makes them very excited. And they get excited enough by the whole process. There, good boy. And we'll walk on around here. You see, until you've got some semblance of control with these horses, and they're not wanting to dash home at 100 miles an hour. Really, you can't do canter. Right. Now, see, he will actually walk. Because we're going towards home, we'll walk. You see, whereas before, if I'd have tried the canter too soon, he'd have been absolutely stressing himself out to get home as quickly as possible. And what we're going to do is we're going to TROT in a minute. I'll just make sure my leg's on because it's easy for it to come off when they're a bit marchy. We'll be turning to the left. Boy. But yes, he's got a bit excited, but excitement's one thing and worry is another. I mean, yes, it is linked to worry, but the worry is largely a lot less than it was. Now, if you want to trot, we'll trot because we'll go around here. He says, oh, well, perhaps I don't want to trot then. Right, so now we're going to trot, and I say to him, just trot, so he knows that it's not anything more than that. Boy. Good boy. Good boy. And walk. Boy. And whoa. Good boy. And walking on. And walking on. Well, you can see his standing is an awful lot better. Right, and walking on. And trotting on. And trotting on. Good boy. Very good. I'm going to trot down this steep hill. There. Now he doesn't, I mean, yes, he's keen, but he's just not all bunchy and like he used to be, and so I'm actually having a really nice trot. Boy. Good boy. And it's nice and straight. And he hasn't lost all the rhythm just because we've done a little CANTER, and now he's relaxing and I can let out my reins a bit or let my hands go forward. So I've got my left leg on him to balance him, and I'm using my body just to help balance him, but he is actually slowing himself down coming down here all the way to walk on his own. Which is fantastic. And I'll come down here. We had Higgins said, I'm just not going through this yesterday, but he won't mind, this horse won't mind. He goes through anything. Now, is that I'm walking on? Yeah, Higgins said I can't go through that water, but we got there eventually. I just didn't let him turn away from it. Good boy. So we are able to sort of walk along these little paths, and I can lean forward like this without him trotting off, which is a real plus. Now I've got to go onto this branch, so I have to do some, did actually get under here with Higgins, so I'm sure I'll be fine on Jupiter, but have to bend right over. Because it's been raining, there's a lot of moisture on the leaves. There. So yes, I'm not saying he's 100% reliable, I'm not saying he's an easy ride, but he's ready to go to the next level and work at his canter, which, as I say, was non-existent because he just, I think, you know, where the canter was tried to be got in a school, it's just not the place for these cobs unless their trot is really established. And I think largely it's the canter is tried for far too soon. I mean, I couldn't canter probably in a school on Jupiter, but once I've cantered out here and perfected it a bit more, yes, he will be able to go into a school and canter. Right. Okay. There. I see a little jump down there. Should we have a little go at it? Yeah, let's have a little bit of fun and have a little trot over this jump. So yes, I can dictate to Jupiter a little bit, whereas before, you know, he just, every time I asked him something, he just set up a chain of worry what I was going to do, whereas now I can sort of say no, or yes, or we will, and he's not so worried. Yeah, well, if you don't trot with me, you'll trip. You see, I can say that to him now, and he says, oh, all right then. Whereas before he'd have said, oh dear, I don't know what you're going to ask me to do. And this is very slippery. Very slippery. But there's a natural little thing up here we can pop over, because it's there. I don't care if he jumps it or not, he can just trot over it. The thing to do is go over it. And the secret is to go over it in the middle. There, good boy. This piece of tape is hanging down again. There, good boy. There. Now, let's come round here again. Now it's downhill, isn't it? Now, and it's going towards home. What does that mean? There, boy. Very good. Right, do it once more coming up. There. Let's come round here once more. Once more coming up. Yes, we're going to do it this way. Yes, we are. There. So I just walked over it the first time coming back, so he'd realise that's all right. Just trotted over it. That's fine. So I want him to realise that just because it's in the way this way, just do some turns. There. And now we'll try trotting over it. Yes, good boy. Good boy. Now we're trotting towards home. And he is keeping his composure. Now you be careful here and watch where you're going. Watch where you're going. There, so I can talk to him, as it were. Boy.